Okay, guys, we're getting ready to do chapter 16. We just found out in chapter 15 that the lock-in at the library was actually a lock-in. The children are going to be giving the choice to play a game where they are locked in the library and they have to escape to find their way out. And the big prize is the person who does that gets to sort of be the spokesperson for Mr. Lemoncello. He'll be in his commercials, and Mr. Lemoncello told one of the parents that there would be money involved. So we are getting ready to start chapter 16. At this point, the kids do not know what's happening yet, only the parents. They have not been told that this is a continuing game. They are not even sure that the lock-in is going to continue on. So this chapter has a really cool board game puzzle in it. When I get to it, I'm going to stop and talk about it a little bit. But other than that, there's one vocabulary word, traipsed. It says somebody traipsed across the room. That just means that they sort of casually walked. So listen for that word in this chapter. Chapter 16. Rocky had done its job. Remember, they played the Rocky song really loud and it made everybody get up. Kyle and everybody else locked inside the library was definitely awake. Even Charles Chiltington had come down to the Rotunda reading room from Mr. Lemoncello's private suite. The only essay writer not with the group was Sierra Russell, who, Kyle figured, was off looking for another book to read. "We're still locked in?" squealed Haley Daly. "This is so lame," added Sean Keegan. "It's like 11:30. I've got things to do, places to be." "Look, you guys," said Kyle. "They'll probably open the front door right after we eat or something." "Well, where's that ridiculous librarian?" said Charles Chiltington, who was never very nice when there weren't any adults in the room. He's sort of a brown-noser. He kind of likes to be the teacher's pet. If adults are around, he wants to look like he's the good guy. Otherwise, he's not very nice. "Yeah," said Rose Vermette. "I can't stay in here all day. I have a soccer game at 2. "And, dudes," said Sean Keegan, "I have a life." "Do you children require assistance?" said a soft, motherly voice. It was the semi-transparent holographic image of Miss Tobin, the librarian from the 1960s. She was hovering a few inches off the ground in front of the center desk. "Yes," said Kayla Corson. "How do we get out of here?" The librarian blinked the way a second-hand calculator, the one your oldest brother dropped on the floor a billion times, does when it's figuring out a square root problem. "I'm sorry," said the robotic librarian. "I have not been provided with the answer to that question." "Will we be doing brunch here this morning?" Chiltington asked politely. "I'm not hungry, but some of my chums sure are. After all, it is 11:30. The kitchen staff recently placed fresh food in the Book Nook Cafe. "Thank you, Miss Tobin," said Chiltington. "Would you like anything? A bowl of oatmeal, perhaps?" "No, thank you, Charles. I am a hologram. I do not eat food." "I guess that's how you stay so super skinny." Kyle shook his head. The smarmy guy was oilier than a soggy sack of fries. He was even sucking up to a hologram. Even Kyle knows that Chiltington is a brown-noser. I don't think he trusts him. Chiltington and the others traipsed off to have breakfast, but Kyle and Akemi stayed with the holographic librarian. I have a question," said Kyle. "I'm listening." "Is the library lock-in over? Are we supposed to go home now?" "Mr. Lemoncello will be addressing that issue shortly." Okay, thanks, Miss Tobin. You are welcome, Kyle. After the librarian faded to a flicker, Akemi said, "By the way, Kyle, before we leave, you need to check out that room I slept in last night." "The boardroom?" "Yeah, they call it that because, guess what? It's filled with board games." "All limoncellos?" "Nuh-uh. Stuff from other companies. Some of it goes way back to the 1890s. I think it's Mr. Lemoncello's personal collection. It's like a museum up there." Kyle's eyes went wide. "You hungry?" he asked. "Not really. We ate so much last night. You think we have time to check out this game museum? Follow me." The two friends bounded up a spiral staircase to the second floor, where they found another set of steps to take them up to the third. When he entered the boardroom, Kyle was blown away. Wow! The walls were lined with bookcases filled with antique games, tin toys, and card games. "This is incredible." "I guess," said Akemi, "if, you like games." Kyle smiled. "Which, I do." They spent several quiet minutes wandering around the room, taking in all the wacky games that people used to play. There was one display case featuring 8 games with amazingly illustrated box tops. A tiny spotlight illuminated each one. "Wonder what's so special about those games," said Kyle. "Maybe those were Mr. Limoncello's favorites when he was a kid." "Maybe," but the slogan etched into the glass case confused Kyle. "Luigi Limoncello, the first and last word in games." "But these aren't limoncello games," he mumbled. The first spotlighted game in the case was Howdy Doody's TV game. After that came Husker Du. I'm writing these names down because I want to show you the trick to it in a second. You Don't Say, Like Minds, Fun City, Big Six Sports Games, Get the Message, and Rough and Ready. "It's a puzzle," Kyle said with a grin. "I thought these were games." "They are, but if you string together the first or last word of each game," he tapped the glass in front of the first box on the bottom shelf, "you get the message." "Really?" said Akemi, sounding extremely skeptical. "You're sure it's not just a bunch of junk somebody picked up for like 50 cents at a yard sale?" "Positive." Kyle pointed to each box top as he cracked the code. "Howdy. Do you like fun games? Get ready." Okay, so here is how you crack the game. This is the list of all the games. Howdy Doody, Husker Du, You Don't Say, Like Minds, Fun City, Big Six Sports Games, Get the Message, Rough and Ready. So he has to take either the first or the last word from each game to break the code, and the code says, "Howdy, do you like fun games? Get ready." Miguel Fernandez barged into the boardroom. "Here you are. We need you guys in the Electronic Learning Center. Now." "Why?" "Charles Chiltington wolfed down his breakfast, then raced up here to finish the game he started last night so he can enter his name as the first high scorer." "So?" The game he's playing is all about medieval castles and dungeons. This time Akemi said it. So, he's escaping through the sewers. The game has smell-o-vision. You ever smell a medieval sewer? Trust me, it's foul and disgusting. The three of them dashed up the hall and entered the stinky room where Charles was sitting in a vibrating pedestal chair, thumbing his controller. As his avatar sloshed through a sewer pipe, the subwoofers built into his seat made every squish and splat rumble across the floor. "Whoa," said Kyle. "Knock it off, Charles. You're pumping out total tear gas." "Because I'm in the sewers underneath the horse stables. It's the secret way out of the castle. I'm going to win another game. That's 2 for me, Keeley. How many for you?" "Yo," said Miguel. "This room is 2 stories above the cafe. The ductwork is connected." "What's your point?" "You're making everybody's food downstairs smell like horse manure." "Who cares? I'm winning." Charles's chair went flump again. By this time, Kyle smelled pine trees? Like one of those evergreen air fresheners people hang inside their cars. "Oh, this stupid thing is broken." Charles jumped out of the chair and reared back to kick it. I wouldn't do that if I were you," said Kyle. "Why not?" "Because there's a security camera over there and it's aimed right at you." "What? Where?" "See the blinking red light?" Suddenly, an image of Kyle pointing up at the camera lens appeared on every video screen in the Electronic Learning Center, until it was replaced by Mr. Lemoncello. So apparently Mr. Lemoncello is watching Charles, and he knows that maybe he's not as much of a nice guy as the adults think he is. We'll be doing chapter 17 soon. For today, find somebody and describe your favorite part of the library to them. Maybe draw a picture or write a paragraph. Write a poem even. But tell somebody in your house what your favorite part of Mr. Lemoncello's library is so far. See you soon.